what does an emotional intelligence coach and a hostage negotiator have in common? Now, I've actually been trained by both of these people, a guy called Richard Mullender, who was a Met police officer and then went on to become a hostage negotiator, negotiating with the Taliban in Afghanistan. And I've also been coached by an emotional intelligence coach who gave me exactly the same advice. Both of these coaches came in to train my listening team on one key skill, and that's the skill of listening. Now, we've already established that listening and understanding a customer's needs is the single most important thing when it comes to winning trust and winning business. But it's not enough to have listened. You have to be able to demonstrate that you have understood. So let me unpack that for you. Let's imagine that I have listened very carefully to the problem that you're trying to solve, and I make notes all about that problem. How do you know, as the person having explained it to me, that I have understood? And this is where the same technique that the hostage negotiators use and emotional intelligence coaches use, and they call it the checkback. Now, it's a simple technique, but it's actually very hard to deliver well. So it's something which requires practice. But what I'll do is I'll explain the steps now that you can take to start trying this. Of all of the techniques that I'm going to talk about in this course, I believe that this is one of the most important and something which I'd love for you to try in the next 24 hours having watched this video. Now, when do you use it? Well, I think there are two places that you can use it. One is in the seller research call, and the other is at the end of the introductory chat at the beginning of your valuation process. Put simply, the checkback is summarizing what the customer said to you in the attempt to understand not only the words that they've told you, but the feelings that they were trying to convey. Let me give you an example from the previous video where James Danbury visited a customer and had prepared the school catchment areas for them. So on the face of it, that problem is about wanting to move to a new school. But the question is why? What were they worried about? And so the checkback technique in that situation would go something like this. If it's okay, John, what I would like to do is I'd actually just like to take a moment to summarise back to you what I think you want from me. The job that I need to do in order to facilitate this move. If there's anything that I've got wrong in this or I haven't quite understood, I'd really like you just to make sure that I've got this absolutely spot on. Because the rest of our working together, the rest of our relationship will be based on how well I've understood what it is you're looking to do. So my understanding is that James is going to be moving into secondary school in September. And that from what you've told me, we need to have you in the new home no later than the 31st of July in order to be able to get him into the school. That you're concerned that in the Selby area, the schools are not going to be good enough for him, and that therefore getting him into the Tadcaster Grammar catchment area is really going to be the most important thing to make sure that he has the very best start to his secondary education. And my role within this is to make sure that I do everything possible to find you a buyer who can get you a great price and meet that timescale. Is there anything which I have misunderstood, or is there anything else which is important to you that I haven't covered there? Now, what I want you to imagine is that the customer goes, no, Ian, that's it, you've got it. Where do you think I'm at now with that customer? Do you think, in terms of listening and understanding their needs, I'm now in a place which very, very few agents will get to? Well, we now have a shared understanding of the job that I'm applying for. I'm not here to market their property with Property Launch. I'm not here to put their property on Rightmove. I'm here to help them solve a problem. And together we've clarified exactly what that problem is. Now, I'm not suggesting that on a seller research call you can always get to that point. You may not build enough rapport to be able to get into that space with them. But what I am saying is that at some point in your valuation process, certainly when you're face to face, that you want to get to the place where they go, yes, Ian, yes, James, you've got the right answer. That's what I want from you. And suddenly you're the agent who's there to solve their problems. As I say, it's not easy to do. And I'm not suggesting that on every single appointment you'll build enough rapport and trust to be able to get to that place with someone. But that's what you're aiming for. Remember, the key ingredients are for them to have permission to correct you, so that they don't just nod and go, yes, that's fine. If there are any bits or any subtleties that you've got wrong, they can immediately come in. And the second key point is it's not just about what they've told you, it's about what they're worried about, what their hopes are and their fears are. And if you can engage with them on that level, you will find that you will be able to win the business at the right fee and make sure that you always beat the competition.